The answers are out there if you just listen to the wind.
What drew you to Dispatch, and how did it be in a game sort of influence your decision to like get involved with it?
Yeah. Well, in truth, I've always wanted to be a part of a game. I've had opportunities come my way, in the past, and nothing really felt like the right fit. And I've been spoiled in the animation space, and so, I want to be. It's very precious to me, to be honest, and so I don't want to just jump onto anything. And when Dispatch was sent my way, I mean, it was stacks of scripts. So it was a little alarming, to be honest. It's a lot. And I mean, this took 2 years to record, just so you know. So it was a lot. But they sent sort of a sizzle reel of the tone of what the game was going to be like, and also a really sort of beautiful, almost kind of poetic scene from the game, and I just really fell in love with the tone. At the core of it, it is a superhero sort of workplace comedy, but also there's a lot of dramatic, heartfelt moments in it, and that's what I really responded to. And so after getting the batch of scripts, I started just looking through them, and I just really fell in love with the story that was being told. And so I sat down with the creators, and we were all very much on the same page of what we wanted to do. And I quickly understood why the likes of like Jeffrey Wright wanted to do it. He's an old dear friend of mine, also work colleague, and he just really he's very picky as well, and so I could see why he jumped on board.
Yeah, it sounds like it really appealed to sort of like your creative side, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, I think gamers are gonna really respond to this because it's definitely a world that they might be used to, but it has such specific humor to it, but also the heart element to it really is strong. I mean, they did that so beautifully with BoJack Horseman. I am very proud of that show. I was very much part of the development process of that show. And what I really loved about that show is, yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of humor to it, but it's gut wrenching, and it tells an honest story about really one man's struggle. A struggle with depression, with alcoholism. And what they tackle on this show is, it's a generational show. I come from a family of superheroes that all wore this particular, superhero costume, the mecha suit. I play the role of Robert Robertson, who also is a superhero by the name of Mecha Man, and it is just in his DNA. And I was very excited to just lean in and tell this man's story, and in turn, all these other group of misfits, their stories, and kind of, root for them and cheer them on.
Amazing. And because you mentioned BoJack, I think gaming generally is sort of like it's been on the edge of your circles in a lot of your roles. Is that something that comes from like a personal place? Have you got like, do you play games or anything?
I used to, and maybe I used to play them too much, and so, as you know, games are very, now, I mean, they've been making great games for a very long time, right? I remember the first time, like when Resident Evil, the first one came out, I don't think I did anything else, outside of playing that game. And um, so anyways, I'm married. I got a couple kiddos now. I can't wait for them to kind of get into the gaming world. They don't even know that that's an option in life right now just yet. But I'm excited to be the one to introduce them to it. But um, yeah.
Amazing, cool. And sort of going back to Dispatch, what do you think it does or says or anything along those lines that sort of sets it apart from contemporary superhero staples?
What I think is so great about this particular game is it's choose your own sort of adventure, your own journey, and so that's why it took so long to record because we just recorded so many different options. And so I think a lot of people, they're gonna want to replay it and choose the opposite of what they chose before. And then that will lead you to a whole other list of options. And that's what I think is really unique and exciting about this game. And hopefully the performances people will like. Visually, I know it's just visually stunning, captivating, and a lot of fun. And so excited for people to kind of see the story that we're telling.
Amazing. And there's quite a few. I've played the first probably about half hour of it, I think. There's some
Oh,
really
great.
funny lines, bits like that. And I think one of my favorite bits is when they're all on call and Robert's on it for the first time, and there's no respect there, getting talked over. It's like just a very start to finish funny little slice of the game.
Yeah,
Are there
yeah.
any are there any particular line deliveries or interactions that stick in your mind that you just got to
Oh
really have
man,
fun with?
there's honestly there's so many, and there's just when I'm reading these scripts, I come in and I have to just say it out loud. I'm like, what were you thinking? Just laughing. I think there's so many. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one in particular, but it's such a also like situationally funny at times where you're just like, I can't believe that's happening in the background. But I think people are going to really, really respond to the humor, but also the drama. I think it's going to really hit some people, tug at their heartstrings for sure.
Amazing. And I hear whenever I speak to actors who have just sort of like started dabbling in games, one thing I hear a lot is that they sort of underestimated how much of a project it can be for something like that. So you mentioned it being sort of a branching sort of narrative. How does that sort of work for you as opposed to like film, TV? Is it much difference in how you bring it together?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to any sort of animated thing that I've done in the past, just in terms of, you're going into a sound booth. Sometimes you have really cool visuals of what it's going to look like. Sometimes the stuff's already been animated, sometimes not. It's just the mountain we all had to climb, to get this across the line was much bigger than I had anticipated. I mean, I had the scripts. Yeah, there was a lot of scripts, so I knew it was going to take a long time. But I don't think any of us anticipated it to take two solid years. You know what I mean? I don't think we were planning on that. But we wanted to make sure it was done right. Again, there's a lot of options in terms of story, in terms of character that the gamer themselves are going to choose, and so we had to make sure every option was done properly, with as much sort of dedication and excitement as the previous option.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you mentioned occasionally in Soundbits getting cool visuals to work with. Did you have anything interesting to sort of work with on here?
On this one, I mean, most of the time, the audio that I'm working with had already been recorded from the previous actors, which was really great. And even if it wasn't, we had the really the masterminds behind the creation of this particular game sort of reading opposite of me, which I actually enjoyed the most because they're just kind of stressing out, making sure it's done right. And I like to just give them shit a little bit. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. A lot of times, there's particular sequences, like big kind of shoot 'em up, crazy sequences that have already been animated just because it takes so long to do them that I was able to see ahead of time, and so that's always nice.
Cool. And sort of from the little I've sort of seen of Robert in that demo, it seems like there's a sort of very complex character sort of sitting beneath that first day on the job sort of look we get on him. What was the
Yeah.
biggest, I suppose, like challenge or element for you that sort of, is there anything in that role that you maybe had to put yourself out there for, like really?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really kind of related to this guy. You know, he doesn't want to be doing what he's doing right now. He wants to put back on his suit and go fight crime. You know what I mean? I mean, his father was a superhero. His grandfather was a superhero. You know, he, I think deep down expects to most likely die in that suit, right? And so the fact that he's sort of doing this day-to-day job, running this dispatch of a group of, you know, misfits that were once kind of villains, he's frustrated, you know, and so I just kind of forced myself to be just kind of frustrated with the whole process of it all. But it's, again, it was just such a delight. I'm incredibly passionate about it. I think everybody involved is incredibly passionate and excited about it. So yeah, thrilled that it's finally coming out.
Amazing. And sort of looking ahead, is games something you'd want to work in anymore? Like, has this been a
I
positive
hope
experience for
so. To
you?
be honest, I had a great time doing it, and so again, if it's on the page, if the story's there, for sure, you know, the people behind it, you know, it's all about sort of the masterminds. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I had a great time, so yeah, I hope so.
It's a very big cast of, it's such a strange cast. I don't know how much of the visuals and everything you've seen, but it's a very strange cast of like aliens, pretty much everything.
Yeah, it's a
Did
strange
you,
cast of characters, and I think, you know, I gotta say, like, just gamers. My brother's a massive gamer. You know, his big community of friends really are people that he's met just online. You know, like when he talks about his friends, you know, these are people he's never met in person, but it's, you know, people from Japan, people from South Africa, people from, you know, New York. But he talks to them every day on his headset, and it's just really, it's really amazing what gaming has done just for society as a whole. You know, it really has brought a particular group of people together, very passionate people that love to just get immersed into different worlds, you know, very like-minded people. This is why I love going to like Comic Cons of the world, because it is the most passionate group of fans, like true, true fans that are just like all in. There's no sort of like disguise. I mean, there is a disguise a lot of times, but there's no real sort of disguise, right? And I just love being surrounded by those people. And so this is honestly one of the reasons why, and probably the biggest reason why I'm just so enthusiastic about being a part of a game of this caliber, is just what I think it's going to do to the fans. You know, I just, I'm so, I'm happy, I'm proud to kind of be a part of the group, you know.